Hello and welcome to Tinted Specs Podcast. I'm Georgina and joining me today is Tom Frearson from Be Fearsome. Welcome, Tom.
Hello, thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much for fitting me in your busy schedule. If you want to just give everyone a little introduction and tell everyone what you do, that'd be great.
Yeah, cool. So I'm the head coach and founder of Be Fearsome, a fitness and lifestyle business based in central London. And we've got a global online reach. So we offer pretty much anything that's outdoors. So outdoor fitness, boot camps, personal training, triathlon coaching. We do corporate team building outdoors, sort of anything outdoorsy. We've got a team of about 20 trainers and a couple of vans that are like mobile gyms that we use around London to run our services. And then we have an online side of our business as well, which has developed in the last 18 months to help people further afield.
Yeah, and I can say I've definitely benefited from the online stuff and in the park. And I think I've now tried out 3 of the different classes: Be Mobile, HIT, Bootcamp, and another one maybe. I can't remember. Is there another one? Anyway.
There's Running Club as well.
Running Club, yeah, which I haven't done actually. But they're all great outdoor fitness classes in the park or online. But what I wanted to start with was, I just mentioned to you before we started that your surname was very close to the name of the company, Be Fearsome. So it'd be great to hear that little story you told us just before.
Yeah, so back when I set the business up 6 years ago, I used to have this thing all the time. People used to confuse my name think my surname was Tom Frearson, including when I used to come back through passport control and when I was working abroad a lot, and they'd always be like, "Oh, Tom Frearson, what a name that is." I'm like, "Dude, you need a new job," but yeah, thanks. And that it was brought to my attention by my brother-in-law that it'd be a pretty cool name to call the company, Fearsome, bit of name in there, but also it's like empowerment and sort of ownership and just not being scared of anything. So we did, and here we are.
Yeah, it's such a great name. So it's Be Fearsome in fitness and in life. And it definitely is, because I think that when you're healthy inside, you're kind of more motivated outside as well, aren't you? Have there been any amazing stories from people that are members of Be Fearsome that have kind of gone on to do something which is pretty incredible?
Yeah, we have people doing some amazing achievements all the time. Like we had a member last month do his first triathlon in his mid-60s and sort of springboard off of his training with us and stuff, which was amazing to see. I've had clients go on and become coaches. So I've got somebody at the minute who I've coached in Ironman training for a few years, a lady, and she's gone on and decided to coach and spend her time with menopausal women and helping them to be able to, I did a thing with her. It's just amazing stuff like that. But it's best when I see people like the underdog story, where it's great having great super fit people. That's wonderful, train some amazing high level athletes. One of our girls, one of our coaches, and she's also a coached athlete by me. She's a GB athlete. She basically just smashes it. And that's wonderful. I'm so proud of them. But I really touch my heart when I see that underdog story, or people actually using what they've learned from us to help other people. And that's just fantastic.
Yeah, no, there are some great stories. And also it's brilliant to see, because and I know because I go to classes, but there's such a range of fitness of levels of people that actually come, and ages as well. So every class is good for someone who's really fit and not very fit either. So it's kind of built for everyone. And you also have a bit of a nutrition arm as well, don't you?
Yeah, so it's very much about, I set the business up purely to be inclusive. So it's about inclusivity. And it's great to have elite athletes. It's great to have beginners, and it's great to have everyone in between, especially of all age. I think our oldest client is mid-late 70s. And they just mix in with everyone. And generally the feedback we get from people when they come to these boot camps or classes or whatever, just see the community as a whole, because we try to have it as a community, is they're just like, I can't believe how many different people from different walks of life. One minute you've got a CEO, or you've got somebody working at Goldman Sachs, and the next minute you've got someone, I don't know, baking cakes or making homemade pizza delivery and stuff like that. It's amazing. So yeah, that's fantastic. And then from a nutrition side, so I'm a nutrition coach as well, and I spend a lot more of my time now working with people online doing nutritional coaching, as well as the sort of the face-to-face stuff.
And you also mentioned the other week a bit about well-being as well, because that's quite an important topic for you.
Yeah, huge. From my perspective, it's not just about fitness, which is why we did the fitness and in life, because yes, fitness is a big part of it, but it's the holistic thing. And we've got our 4 or 5, depending on whether you're talking to a business or not, pillars of wellness, which is fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, mindset, and now we've just introduced mental health, because I've qualified as a mental health first aid instructor, so I can teach people proper courses, and it's important that all of this stuff is taken into account. And then when we're helping people in wellness programs, whether it's one-on-one or in a company, which we do quite a bit more of now, is that some people, they hear the word fitness and they go, no thanks, I'm done. But they don't realize fitness for them is going for a walk twice a week. That's plenty, but they might gain something from the nutrition or the mindset or just building it into their lifestyle. So I think anyone who approaches your health condition, weight, all those kind of things from it's all about fitness point of view is way off the mark. And if they understand the bigger picture and the pillars that we introduce, it can be so much more inclusive.
Yeah, I think, you're right. And then also, I suppose that springboards us into kind of the mental health side of things as well. So I know that you read a lot of books kind of about making the best of yourself and improving yourselves. And you were talking about, you read a book about someone and now you're getting up earlier in the morning. Have I got that right?
Yeah. So I've had to get up early for years because of my job. But I read a book, the Miracle Morning. It was a really good book, and I'd already got a great morning. I'd already got an okay morning routine. And I read this book and it just changed my perception. It's given me some really good things that I use for myself and also clients now. And I get up at 5 most days and I have a set morning routine. And my morning routine takes an hour and a half if I do exercise as well, which is 6 days a week. Includes yoga, meditation, journaling, and back to the reading point is, every morning the Daily Stoic gets read. I'm really into Stoicism and just the concepts of that, and I journal. This thing's always with me. This journal is always here, and it gets done morning and evening. Every single, I'd say 90% of the time. But books in general is just like constantly. Always got a book or 2 on the go, and I try to get through 1 a week if I can. And for tips for anyone who's like, how do you get through 1 book, 2 books a week? I use audiobooks a lot. So I'll buy the audiobook, I'll buy the physical book, and then I will listen to the audiobook when I'm out running or I'm doing the dishes or I'm just doing chores or I'm driving somewhere, something that doesn't include a lot of concentration. Otherwise you can't really take the book in. And I listen to it on between 1.6 and 1.75 speed. So I process information so much faster now because of doing this. And then I make notes in the book in the evening and highlight the bits that really interested me. So I've got that physical thing to go back to and refer to. And that for me has been a game changer of knowledge and things. So a big tip there if you can.
Yeah, that's so a little bit faster, then you take it in more, and then writing notes in the evening. I'm terrible at reading books, particularly those kinds of books, if I'm perfectly honest. But I've got 2 on the go. Can't remember the names, but I'm going to go and start reading them again. But I think what's really interesting in all businesses at the moment, I mean, obviously Be Fearsome is a fitness business, that how important the kind of wellness side and mental health side is as well. It seems to be filtering across into every single business. And so how important is it for Be Fearsome to have all of these elements to it?
So from the mental health side, the mental health problem has been it's been exacerbated by the last 18 months, obviously, and it's starting to trickle down into businesses, and it's starting to become a real focal point for every single business. Personally, as a background, ex-Royal Marines, Afghanistan veteran. So, I've been through my own and seen other people go through their own mental health journeys and difficulties. And, I hold my hands up and say I've had help and things like that. And so I've got an understanding of my own mental health and of it. But to bring it out in the open and make people get rid of the stigma around it, which was around it for so many years. Actually, in the military, we were a lot better at it because we used to actually talk about it. But in the day-to-day street, you just don't talk about it, or you didn't. So it's really important that people are starting to talk about it more, because it's in the next few years, it's going to come out so much more. So the reason we've included that within our programs is because we were seeing a huge gap, and we've always touched on it with mindset and resilience, but I believe mindset and resilience are actually separate to mental health. They're one thing, and mental health is another, but the two go so well together around the other pillars. So the reason we offer so much, to answer that question, or offer these different things, is because as we evolve as a business, as we meet new people, as we all, as trainers, not just me, read new books and get new ideas and be open and, introduce to new coaches and different people, we realize how many people we might be missing. And if we can help them with their mental health and their mindset, which then changes them to do something about their fitness and exercise, then excellent. Because although I've said the things are separate, they all interlink. And realistically, without one of them, you're missing out. And sometimes that one piece of the puzzle that they're good at, or they understand, or you can help them with, then starts to put the other pieces together. So you can just help someone as a whole.
I think that's so important. That was really well put. So yeah, by helping someone to understand their mental health, it could allow them to open up to wanting to get fit. So it's kind of opening a little door, which opens another little door, which then brings it kind of all together. I mean, so the pandemic must, I know, hit Be Fearsome quite hard at the beginning, because obviously it was such a shock. But how did you develop Be Fearsome over that time and come out stronger at the end of it?
So I saw it coming. I'm a planner. I saw it coming, and I could see what was going to happen in the UK. So I planned ahead, and sounds really silly, but at the time they were like impossible to get webcams. And I bought up a load of webcams. I had to scrounge around everywhere for them, but I bought up a load of webcams and built a platform for everything to go online instantly. So we took all of our face-to-face classes, all of our PTs, all of our socials, all of our corporate work, everything just went online instantly. Now, don't get me wrong, the first few were probably rubbish. And our tech probably wasn't where it is now, or it wasn't where it is now. But the point is that we evolved and adapted quickly. And when I say we, I mean, sure, me and the business, the forethought to think of that, but it's way more than that. It was about the team. And a lot of my team, and a lot of my team are technophobes. They're just not, they want to be there in the park doing a session or a PT, and that's it. They don't want to be dealing with the tech. Getting them to use the Be Fearsome app to book in classes is hard work, let alone get them to stream a class and all that kind of thing. So, but the members as well, they responded really, really quickly. And we had a drop-off rate of clientele of about, I think it was between 5 and 10% maximum. Now, you compare that to most gyms, you compare that to most outdoor fitness, you compare that to any face-to-face product service, it's nothing compared to what other people lost. And we actually picked people up along the way as we evolved. And the biggest thing from my perspective as a leader in my business was to take everybody on a journey and try to keep people together. I do know that the whole community, I call it the Be Fearsome community, because where we are, and we do a lot of charity work in the local communities around where we mainly are, which is Hyde and Battersea Park. But there was so many people that were all of a sudden isolated and alone, and it was really important to bring them together in the best way possible, which I think was the main reason for a lot of people to keep doing it, was the social element. And then also keep my guys working, because they lost all of their other work. And helping them to then any other work they did elsewhere for themselves to use the facilities that we'd set up, and we let them use all our tech and our platforms to deliver their own PT sessions, so they could keep the income coming in and look after themselves and their families. And that was the main focus for the period, which evolved massively, because we gradually grew massively coming through Corona and then out the other side of it, because we just adapted, really.
No, it was incredible, because there wasn't just one class a day. It was many more than one class a day. And I, for one, definitely, and I was working solidly all the way through. So I was stressed because I was working 5 days a week, but lots of other people weren't. So for them, it gave them something to get up for and to do later on in the day. And I think some people were doing 2 online classes a day, one in the morning, one in the evening. But it wasn't just that. If you've been going to your classes before, you knew other people, so that was still a bit gobby and a bit, a bit of banter going on. And then you also did the socials on a Friday as well. There was other nutrition stuff. So there was a huge online community. So I, for one, I know, struggled to get back to the park after. Did other people struggle as well?
Yeah, the concept of it was huge,
Yeah.
like the mindset shift, because you've got to bear in mind, people were in a state of lockdown pretty much, not a bit on and off, but for the best part of 12, 18 months. And within that time, habits change, and the way people interact changes, and the way people feel comfortable changes. And a lot of people weren't comfortable for quite a while coming back down to the parks. We did everything. We had a very, very strict policy of keeping people apart. Literally, I would physically separate them with cones, and they couldn't, no touching of each other, sharing kit, all those things were in place. But people were worried, understandably, even though they were outside. And it was just a case of making an environment that they felt good coming back to. But traveling there was a problem. So all of these things. So we kept our online offering going, and we still do, to try to help people. And we added integrations into sort of like an in-between stage where we'd have both running to try and bring people back steadily, because we knew that most people really did want to get back to face-to-face. Our online boot camps and that side of it, I think we do corporate stuff, a lot of corporate stuff now online, because they've got teams working all over the country now, spread out. But a lot of our online stuff for our people in the parks has dwindled down, because really everybody loves that actual social interaction of being in the park. But it was tough for a lot of people. Also, what was tough, I must say, is you couldn't hide behind a camera and just pretend you were tying your shoelace when your instructor was stood right in front of you.
Yeah, no, I have to say, I had realized how, I mean, at the same time, without the online classes, my fitness would have been, I would have got really, really fat. So I didn't get really, really fat. But the problem was I was pretty unfit when I came back to the class. And I haven't done a boot camp, but I've done the HIIT classes, and I realized, doing the weights, oh my gosh, yeah, it's crazy. But I actually have to be honest. No, I did do boot camp. The first one I came, I nearly cried, because I'd built it up to such a big deal about going to the park. And it wasn't even about coronavirus, really. I think it was just seeing people getting to the park. It was just the whole thing. So I was like, I was really worried about coming, and it was this crazy thing. And I realized, I don't know what I was worried about, because it wasn't about catching coronavirus. It was more about, it was changing habits, I think was really hard.
Yeah, because, I think I remember that session. I'm pretty sure I was there for that session, and you were only going to come down just to watch. And then you're like, oh, maybe I'll have some kit and I'll do a bit. And then before I knew it, you were smashing a session, and you were just like, that was amazing. Which we saw so much. And that's what I said to people. If you want to come down, just do 20 minutes, do 10 minutes, and then go or watch or whatever. And 9 times out of 10, they do that. And then they'd stay and do the whole session, which is what you did. But I think a lot of the time, it's that different psychology. It's all of a sudden people are going to see me exercising. They're going to see my jiggly bits. They're going to see me out of breath. They're going to see me struggling. Whereas before, we've had so long of people you could hide. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a self-protective preservation kind of way. You could easily hide, and all of a sudden you were out there. But actually, that's what really spurs us on to push ourselves and do better and encourage other people when they're struggling. But it takes a bit of time getting used to.
Yeah. And also, I think it's a really good first step, because to go back to the office as well. So if you can go back to the park, you can go back to the office. I think that's what I'm telling myself anyway. But there are still some people who haven't quite made it to the park. And I know that you're trying to kind of get them back again. What advice would you give them to kind of come back and join the rest of us getting sweaty?
What I'd say is remember the things that you did enjoy. Remember the things, the feelings you had of being outdoor. Outdoor and exercise are two of the best things you can do for you physically and mentally. So we're combining the two here, and also the social element thrown in. We're very welcoming to everyone of all ability levels. But just come down and watch from a distance and see the environment and what's going on. And I guarantee if you did that, you'll be over speaking to people at the end of the class or whatever. And just give it a go. There's never any pressure to do. You can just do 2 minutes and then stop. But just think about the good stuff, because that's the That's the stuff that really does matter. The endorphins, the feelings of that. The feeling of being around human beings doing one thing, and that is, there's no, we do have little competition in our classes and all our things, but it's only friendly competition between people that want it. Realistically, you're all aiming towards one goal, and that is to be outside, get active, deal with your own fitness and mental health, and you do it together, which doesn't get any better than that, I don't think.
So what do you see the future of Be Fearsome? How do you see it developing in the next 5 years?
Wow. Okay. So, in the last 2 years, it's developed massively. 2.5 years ago, it was me and a van doing PTs around London. And triathlon coaching. Now I don't actually take many sessions personally because we've got a team that do that, but I take sessions and PTs for fun now. I don't do it as part of the business to earn money as such. I do it because I really enjoy it and I enjoy people. I spend a lot of my time now looking at corporate wellness so we can help more people in our programs, which is, I think, is a big future of the business. Also, transformation coaching, sort of one-on-one transformation coaching is quite huge, and I'm doing quite a bit of that, and I'm going to get the team start doing that as well, because it challenges them, it pushes them to get a nutrition qualification, it pushes them to grow as coaches, which I think always helps. And that's where I see, the future of the business, and what I see as a definite future of the business is our boot camps in the park. It's like our shop front on Oxford Street, right? So they're what the trainers love it, I love it, the members love it. It's a high amount of people. It's very costly to run this kind of operation compared to the online stuff, for example. But it's what makes us who we are. It's what makes our community. And I do 100% believe it's the reason we are where we are today, because people see that and then go, I want them to do my corporate wellness for me, or I want to be coached by that. I want to be in that environment, that inclusive, positive, infectious enthusiasm environment. So I see that part of the business, I don't want to say that I don't see it growing massively and we'll take on more parks. I don't know, but I see that as being the keystone to our business for the future, with everything else kind of spidering off it. And every now and again, somebody else comes up with a good idea, or somebody else comes across our path and joins our team who's got a different skill, and we go, well, yeah, we can help more people. Our aim is to help more people be the best version of themselves. That's actually our mission statement. So the more people can help in different things is, there's no limit really.
No. And I think what's really important is how much value you put on the people that work within your team and how you kind of look after them. That seems to be quite important. Seems to be an important part of the Be Fearsome kind of ethos.
Yeah, it's at the forefront, to be honest with you. It's that Richard Branson saying, don't worry about your customers, worry about your staff. They'll look after it. And I don't see them as staff. They're a team. We're a team. We are a team. And we help each other out. We know each other's lives, inside out. We spend a lot of time together inside and outside of work. But it's a culture thing, and everybody fits in that culture, which is inclusivity. And if anyone doesn't, we've not really had anyone come into the team and not fit. But what's really important is it's more than just a business to me. Obviously, it is a business and it needs to make money and it needs to be profitable and it needs to be time sensible. But what's important is that we have people there who want to be there doing something they want to do. And if that ever stops, it's time to sit back and review it, because without that, we're just not what we set up to be when we first started. And that's the most important thing for me, is that culture, but the team come first.
And I suppose the team are the heart, aren't they? And the camps, the parks are like the window front, but it's all kind of stems from the heart of the team, doesn't it? So
yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter how many fancy adverts you've got and all that kind of thing, and I could buy 20 vans and have all over the country, whatever. Without a good team, and that's where a lot of companies do fail, is they don't have that team and don't look after that team, and that's hopefully where we are different and can continue to be different.
So what do you think Be Fearsome and yourself learned over the last kind of 18 months to 2 years, through the pandemic? Is there anything that that you feel that the company or yourself has?
I would say we've learned how to. We already knew how to. It was in our ethos: improvise, adapt, and overcome, which is a military thing that personally and a lot of the military guys on my team have always sworn by. We learned that we could improvise and adapt pretty much to anything. There's been some testing times where I'm not sure. Some sleepless nights where I'm not sure what the future holds. But that's a huge one. But also as well as people are awesome, people will do wonderful things for each other. There's people out there who aren't awesome and won't do wonderful things for each other. But all we can do is just keep our community and what we've got with awesome people in there. And if somebody comes into the sphere that isn't of that thought process, kill them with kindness, and just eventually they'll give in, because if everybody else around them is positive and feeling great and helps each other, then eventually they'll either turn that way or disappear. And that's something I've learned is, I think that's really important.
Yeah, I love that. Kill them with kindness. Very good. Tom, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can everyone find out a bit more about Be Fearsome?
Just Google Be Fearsome and it will come up. We're pretty highly ranked on Google, but befearsome.com is our website, and you'll see there's lots of stuff we do on there, or get us on social media.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Tom, and see you in the park soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.